Hello, you are welcome once again to class. This video or lesson is tailored specifically for JSS 2 students or grade 8 preparing for their exam, and it's a good guide for a revision towards your exam. So in today's class, we will delve into key topics such as precision in number representation up to the nearest million. Also, we'll be looking at the art of simplifying algebraic expressions and also converting numbers from standard form to ordinary form. Then, more importantly, we'll also be mastering the removal of bracket in algebra and the fineness of using approximation method to round up numbers with precision in significant figures. So I will advise you to stay tuned as we navigate through this crucial concept to ensure you are well prepared for success in the forthcoming exam. So let's delve in to the solution. As we can see on the board, we have the first question, and the first question says that we should write these numbers and correct them to the nearest million. The first thing we need to do here is that we write out the number, or we look at the number. The first value here, which is 8, has a place value of units. Next to it, which is 0, has a place value of 10. 1 here has a place value of 100. Then 6 here has a place value of 1000. 2 here have the place value of tens of thousand. Then 7 here has the place value of 100,000. Then the 5 here is actually the place value of million. But in tackling questions like this, the place value here 5 is our focus, which is the million, as we are asked to write this number to the nearest million. So our focus is to write it to this point. We write 2, 3. Now 5 is in the level of million, right? So let's write out the question first. 235,726,108. Now to write this to the nearest million, you write 2, 3. Then this is the million. You look at the value after the million. Once it is up to 5 and above, you approximate it. You change it to become 1, because in the process of approximation in mathematics, we have only 2 numbers, and those numbers are 0 and 1. Numbers from 0 to 4 are usually rounded down to 0. Numbers from 5 are usually rounded up to 1. So since this number is 7, that is after this place value of the million, we'll consider it as 1. Then add it to 5, it becomes 6. So it becomes 236, right? Good. Now, because we have approximated every other digit after this now, from this 5, after this 5, every other digit becomes 0. So just put it at 0, 0, 0, comma 0, 0, 0. So we have approximated this to 236 million. Good. So let's look at the next question. Identify the place value. The question is 9,814,523. So let's look at it. Now we have this as unit, tens, hundred, tens of thousand, unit, tens, 100,000, tens of thousand, hundred of thousand, million. The number after the million is 8. So we change it to 1, add it to 9. This becomes 10. So it means that this number approximated to million, to the nearest million, is actually 10 million. A million has 6 zeros, as you can see. So let's go. Number 3 question says we should convert this number 15,000,000 431,089 to the nearest million. So this is units, tens, hundred, thousand, tens of thousand, hundred of thousand, then million. The number after my million is not up to 5, it is 4. So you round it down to 0. So therefore my number here becomes 15 million. The last on this particular set of questions, we have 3,941,348. So looking at this number again, the number after the million is up to 9. So just change it to 1, add it to 3. So this gives us 4 million. So that is the solution to this particular question. So let's look at the big question that says, how many days are there in half a year? If we take a year to be 365 days. So let's look at that particular one. Good. So half a year, to calculate the number of days in half a year, given that a year is 365 days. So half of 365 is simply half a year, right? So half a year would now be that, since we want to find it in days, is 365 divided by 2 days. And if you say 2 in 3, you have 1, remainder 1. Add it to this 6. 2 in 16 is 8. Good. No remainder. 2 in 5 is 2. Remainder of 1 over 2. Then days. So it means that it is actually 182 and a half days. Right? Half day simply means 12 hours, because remember that in a day we have 24 hours. That makes one day. So we have 182 full days plus 12 hours. So I can report it as 182 days, then 12 hours. That is what half of a year represents if a year is 365 days. So having looked at this, let us move to look at the second question. Now, we have to simplify these expressions as been given to us. So look at this question. We have multiplication, we have division, and we have these numbers in standard form, and we have to change them to ordinary form. So let's go right into the solution. Let's simplify this first. Now, once you see multiplication sign between two terms, this is the first term, this is the second term. Then the first thing you do is you take care of the number. Since this is multiplication, what is 3 times 2? 3 times 2, you write it out. 3 times 2, good. Then this alphabet under multiplication, you write down the alphabet. Now under multiplication, you simply add the powers. And what are the powers here? 2 plus 5. So let's find out what everything will give us. 3 times 2 is 6. You write down 6. Then this is x. Then 2 plus 5 is 7. So that is our answer. So it is 6x to the power of 7. That is the outcome of this first one. Then let's look at the second one. The second one simply says we should divide. So you write down the figures first. 24 divided by 6. Good, you divide. Then our alphabet, I'll write it as times. Good, then x. While you have division, division means subtraction. So you are going to subtract the second power from the first one. So here it's going to look like 8 minus 5. So let's look at what it will give us. 24 divided by 6 is actually 4. Then you write out your x. Then when you say 8 minus 5, you obtain 3. That is the result to that particular one. You can actually write it like this. You write 24 up, then 6 under, so that you can say 6 here 1, 6 in 24 is 4, right? You can do it that way as well. Then let's look at this third one. Multiply out the numbers as usual. 4 times 7. Good. Then times, you pick the alphabet y. Then since this is multiplication, I'm going to add the power. Mind you, the power of this y here is 1. Even if they don't tell you, you should know it is 1, right? So you are going to add plus 1. So let's multiply. 4 times 7 is 28. Then you write out the alphabet, which is y. 6 plus 1 is 7. Then we move on. The next one, you have it as 18 divided by 9. Then since it is division, but I want to put it as, I'll write it times x as usual. Then I'll write 5 here, which is this one. Then remember, this is division, so you subtract the second power from the first. So 18 divided by 9 is 2. Good. Then times x, put your x. Then 5 minus 4 is 1, which is same as 2x. So that is the solution to number 2a. Let's move on to 2b. We are to express these numbers in ordinary form. And what does it mean to express in ordinary form? All you need to do is to say 4. Then we are given that 10 is going to be multiplied in 4 places. So this is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So what do we do with this? How many? 4 times 1 is 4. How many zeros do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. You write out those 4 zeros. Good. So that is the result, 40,000. Then in this one, you have 7.8, right? Times 10 to the power of 7. You write 10 7 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So what would that give us? 7.8 times this first 10. We move this decimal from this pot out. That's what it will do. So it means that one of the 10 will be sacrificed to remove the dot. So it becomes 78. That's what it means. So since this 10 is gone, how many zeros do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you put out 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which gives us 78 million as the result. Good. Right? So let's proceed to question number 3. And if you have not subscribed to this video, consider subscribing to this video. If you have not subscribed to this channel, I mean to say, consider subscribing to it. Oh, I thought we are moving to number 3. We still have number 2b to tackle. In number 2b, we are given 4.3 times 10 raised to power negative 3. What do we do? Since it is negative 3, watch the outcome. We are going to write it like this. 4.3, right? Times 10 raised to power negative 3 is like this. Oh, sorry, let me put it like this for easy understanding. Good. When you have a negative power, what you do is that just write your figure that you have, which is 4.3. Now, because it is -3, you are going to move the point out towards the back. Right? This 1, 2, and 3. So our point is now here. Right? So it means you can fill up this place with a 0. Then inside there is 0 to fill up 0. So the result becomes 0.0043. That is the result. Right? Once you see it is to the power of negative, you move it like that. Then I will use this pattern as well to treat the positive as well. Let's look at it. Write out your 5.1. Right? Now, instead of writing 10 in 7 places, as we have done in the former question, I want to use this pattern of repeating the movement of my point. So what do? I'm going to move this 7 times because it is positive. So I'll move it forward 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I'll fill up all the spaces here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Mind you, the point is now here. So our number becomes 5, 1. Then I'll write 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is 51 million. Good. So let's look at number 3. We are to remove the bracket from this expression. So what do we do in this? Watch out. In the first question, we were given that 3, open bracket, 6a plus 3b, then plus 5 into 2a minus b. So what do we do? You take this 3, you multiply 6a. So 3 times 6 is 18. Then you write the a. Then you put a plus. Then you take the same 3, you multiply it with this 3b as well. Remember, the first 3 is to multiply this, second with this. So 3 times 3 is 9. Then you put a b. Plus, you do the same thing here. 6 times 2a is 10a. Then 5 times b. Right? You have a negative, so it becomes minus 5b. So at this point, collect like 10. 18 and 10 both have a in common, so and you have positive 10, so you add them together. So this gives us 28a. Then 9b and 5, right? They have b in common, so and the sign here is minus. So 9b minus 5b is positive 4b. Good. That is the solution to that particular question, right? We can factorize if we want to, because 4 is common to both of them. If we want to factor out 4, we can bring out 4. Then if we say 28 divided by 4, you will have 7a left. Then if we say 4b divided by 4, you have b left. Good. You can also leave your answer like this. But if you cannot leave it like this, it's fine, right? So the second one says what? 2, open brackets, 3x minus y minus 3, open brackets, 2x minus 3y. Good. Let me write this very well. Good. So we have it as 2x minus 3y. So let's go again. 2 times 3 is 6. Remember x Now minus, you put the minus, then you take the 2 multiply y, you get 2y. Then you take the negative 3 multiply 2x here, so that gives us minus 6x. Then you take the positive 3 multiply, you take the minus multiply the minus, it turns to plus. Then the number 3 times 3 is 9. Then you put your y. Then collect like terms. 6x minus 6x has gone, right? So what do we have left? We have 9y, positive 9y, minus 2y, which is actually 7y. That is the result of number 3A. So let's look at 3B, which is actually our last question in this particular revision exercise. We are asked to round these numbers to either 2 or 3 significant figures. So looking at the first number, 6, 5, 6, 8. What are significant figures? Significant figures simply means important figures or important number. Now in mathematics, numbers that are important are simply numbers we use in counting, which is numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4. However, we consider 0 to be important if they are in between 2 significant numbers. So let's look at this first question. And also don't forget the lesson on approximation. When the number is above 4, you approximate to 1 and add it to the preceding number. Then if the number after where you want is what? Less than 4, you what? Or less than 5 rather, or let's say 4 below, you round it down to 0, right? Good. So 3 significant number, let's count. 6 is the first significant, 5 is the second, the third is what? 6. So you consider the number after 6, which is 8. Since 8 is more than 4, we round it up to 1. We add it to 6. So our number here becomes 6, 5, then 7. Then this has automatically changed to 0. Please put it so that your place value for this digit will remain the same. So this is 3 significant figure. We also asked to do this in 2 significant figure. You pick the first one, which is 6, you write it. The second, which is 5, we look at the next number to it, which is 6. 6 is more than 4, so we round it up to 1, add it to this, becomes 6. So automatically these two numbers change to what? 0, 0. So this is in 2 significant figure. So the next one says we should write it in 2 significant figures. So that is 1, the first significant figure, 9, which is the second one. Then the number after 9, unfortunately, is not up to 5. So we round it down. This becomes 0. So this is 2 significant figures. Then we are asked to convert this to 3 significant figure. The first one is 5, which is significant. 1 is the next one. This 0 is significant because it is in between 2 significant numbers. But fortunately for it, the number after the 0 is more than 5 or more than 4. We can upgrade it or round it up to 1, add it to 0. We have a 1. So these numbers become 0 and 0 to keep the place number, right, of this particular digit the same. So this is what in 3 significant figure. So this brings us to the end of our revision exercise. So don't forget to invite your friends to be a part of this class. Bye for now.